result of the work of the Guyana LGBT Coalition and signals the end of a week of activities to promote same-sex rights and queer tolerance in the Latin American.
Okay, hey YouTube. So I just saw this today on YouTube. I just thought it's crazy. I can't believe Guyana had a first gay pride parade. And I did a video a while ago talking about don't change the dress code in Guyana. And this is what happens when y'all do that. This is what happens if y'all change the dress code. In Guyana, y'all will start having problems. And what the problems we have in America. And here what she tells Dr. Phil.
So you think it was like a trophy thing?
Correct. Like he wanted some kind of recognition after, sleeping with a teacher.
You said that afterwards you were surprised that he didn't get in touch with you.
I'm surprised that there was no communication at all, even before I had gotten into trouble.
But you did have communication with him, didn't you, the next day?
No. The next day, just one text in the morning, and that was it.
What was that text?
He texted me that he had a great night, or it was great, or something in that matter. And then I text back that, yes, it was, that, maybe we could do it again.
So y'all both had a good time? So this wasn't an impulse thing.
You see that she didn't see anything wrong. Here's a teacher that was sentenced.
As 25-year-old Alexandra Vera hugged her family goodbye, she was taken away by deputies.
She got 10 years in prison.
Friday morning, Judge Michael McSpadden formally sentenced the former Aldine ISD middle school teacher to 10 years behind bars.
Middle school teacher teach students the ages between 11 to 13 or 11 to 14 years old students. Let me repeat that again. Middle-aged school or teachers who teach students between the ages of 11 to 14 years old.
Only on cases like this, they get 3 life sentences. So if I was Alex, I'd be counting my blessings.
The only witness to take the stand was a clinical psychologist. She said Vera witnessed domestic violence growing up and that she had been in destructive relationships in the past and was a good candidate for therapy. That Vera had a history of deception as well. Judge McSpadden said that the number of teacher-student relationships occurring is alarming and agreed with the psychologist to one day go into the schools to be more proactive about this issue. Judge McSpadden also made statements that both Vera, her family, the victim, and his family wrote letters to the court in support of the relationship, claiming that it was culturally okay. He also said the mother was more worried about Vera losing her job. Court documents show Vera continuously sexually abused the child from September of 2015 to January of 2016. Vera at one point got pregnant.
I want to pause this video to show you how young she looks. She looks like a high schooler. And the only reason she looks older now because she got pregnant. And some women, they get pregnant because they don't want to go to jail. And in our jail system, they don't like it when women are pregnant in jail.
Then got an abortion. Before Alexandra Vera was sent to prison, the judge said that he believed Vera truly felt sorry for what she did, but that he has to set an example for other teachers. Again, Vera has been sentenced to 10 years in prison, but on good behavior, she could get parole in 5 years. In downtown Houston, Lindsay Henry, Fox 26.
So that's pretty much what I want to say. If y'all change y'all culture, y'all traditions, you're going to have the same problems that we have in America. You're going to have teachers sleeping with students, and they're going to push the homosexuality in the schools. If you don't believe me, watch.
A meticulous process that involves shaving, glitter, hairspray, and a wig. But instead of performing in a nightclub, the venue is the Brooklyn Public Library in
You
Park
see
Slope.
this? These are
It's 10 o'clock in
babies.
the morning.
They're starting as early as babies, teaching that this behavior is okay.
Who's ready for a story?
Is the host of Drag Queen Story Hour.
This one is called Worm Loves Worm.
Talking, singing, and reading
We can both be grooms.
to an audience of preschoolers, toddlers, and their caregivers.
Brooklyn Charter School Academy for having transgender discussions in a kindergarten class.
And these parents feel betrayed by the school district that they were not notified.
Those discussions were earlier this summer during the last few days of the academic school year.
CBS 13's Sharon Merget joins us live from Rockland, where a school board meeting just wrapped up. Sharon. Sam and Adrian, it was quite an emotional board meeting at Rockland Academy tonight, and it was standing room only, with parents and teachers speaking out tonight about a teacher who read books to her kindergartner class. And also, during that time, that kindergartner was going through a transition in front of her peers, and tonight that teacher spoke out.
And what I will share over and over again is how proud I was of my students.
An emotional Rockland Academy teacher addressing a packed house of parents, many furious about her decision to discuss the topic of gender identity inside her kindergarten class.
It was never my intent to harm any students, only to support them through a difficult situation.
The teacher defended her actions to read 2 books she says were given to her by a transgender child going through a transition.
The kindergartners came home very confused about whether or not you can pick your gender, whether or not they really were a boy or a girl.
Parents say besides the books, the transgender student at some point during class also changed clothes and was revealed as her true gender. And many parents say they feel betrayed and blindsided.
I want her to hear from me as a parent what her gender identity means to her and to our family. Not from a book that may be controversial. My daughter went home crying, shaking, so afraid that she could turn into a boy.
The issue was not on the agenda, so parents spoke out during Monday night's public comment.
It's really about the parents being informed and involved and, giving us the choice and the rights about, what's getting introduced to our kids and at what age.
Many teachers also speaking out in support of what transpired inside the classroom on the last days of the academic year.
Head in the direction of banned books or book lists or selected literature that should only be read inside or outside of the classroom. I think that that's a very dangerous direction to go.
Now, the district says that the books were age appropriate and fell within their literature selection policy. And unlike sex education, the topics of gender identity don't require parent prior notice. But because of tonight's comment, the district will be taking this up as an agenda item next month.
All right, sounds like there's a lot of pressure.
So this is what I'm saying. They're already trying to force it in schools. Not all the schools does it. But it starts out with little things like, okay, let's dress how we want to dress. Okay, let's do a gay parade. It starts out small, and then it gets to the point where it's out of control. And then one day you wake up in Guyana and you wonder how y'all became a country that believe marriage is between a man to a woman. And now marriage is okay for 2 men or 2 women. It will end up like that. So it's not too late to stop this, but I hope that Guyana would change and go back to their old ways and their old roots, and or y'all will have the same problems that goes on in the other countries that they don't tell you about.